What's the worst call you've ever received from your child's daycare? I was sitting in my cubicle answering emails when my phone buzzed. The caller ID showed Sunshine Kids Daycare, where my 4-year-old son Mason spent his days while I worked. Usually they only called if he was sick or forgot his lunch money, so I picked up expecting something routine. Mrs. Blake, this is Jennifer, the daycare director. Her voice was shaky, almost panicked. There's been an incident with Mason. You need to come right away. My stomach dropped. What kind of incident? Is he hurt? He's okay now, but it's serious. Please just come as fast as you can. I tried asking more questions, but she just kept saying I needed to get there immediately. I grabbed my keys and ran out of the office, my heart pounding the entire 15-minute drive. All sorts of horrible scenarios played in my head. Had he fallen? Was there an accident? Had another kid hurt him? When I pulled into the daycare parking lot, I saw 2 police cars sitting outside the building. My blood turned to ice. I practically sprinted through the front doors and found Mason sitting on a small chair in the director's office, clutching a juice box with tears still wet on his cheeks. "Mommy!" He jumped up and ran to me, wrapping his little arms around my legs. Jennifer, the daycare director, looked like she was about to throw up. She pulled me aside while Mason went back to his juice box, and what she told me made my knees weak. "We gave Mason to the wrong person during pickup today." I stared at her, not understanding. "What do you mean the wrong person?" A woman came in around 3 o'clock and said she was Mason's aunt. She knew his name, knew some details about him. Our new receptionist, Kelly, didn't check the pickup authorization list or ask for ID. She just handed Mason over. The room started spinning. Where is he now? Where was he? We got him back. He's safe. But Monica, he was gone for 23 minutes before we realized what happened. 23 minutes. My 4-year-old son had been missing for almost half an hour, and I had no idea. I felt like I was going to be sick. Jennifer explained that one of Mason's regular teachers, Miss Sarah, had gone to find him for their usual goodbye hug when parents started arriving for pickup. When she couldn't find him anywhere, she checked with Kelly at the front desk. Kelly said a nice lady picked him up early, but when Miss Sarah asked who, Kelly couldn't remember the woman's name. That's when we checked our pickup logs and security footage. The cameras showed everything. A woman I'd never seen before had walked in, talked to Kelly for less than 2 minutes, and then walked out holding Mason's hand. Mason looked confused but wasn't crying or fighting. He probably thought it was someone I had sent. The woman seemed to know him, Jennifer continued. She called him by name, mentioned that he liked dinosaurs. Kelly thought she seemed legitimate, but here's the thing that saved my son. I had drilled Mason's phone number into his head since he was 3 years old, made him practice it over and over until he could recite it perfectly. The woman had taken Mason to Riverside Park, about 6 blocks away. She sat him on a bench and started talking to him like he was her own child, calling him different names, asking about school projects he'd never done. Mason got scared and started crying, asking for me. That's when a jogger nearby heard him clearly reciting my phone number through his tears, asking the woman to call his mommy. The jogger, a man named David, approached them and asked if everything was okay. Mason immediately ran to him and begged him to call me. The woman started acting erratic, claiming Mason was her son, that people were trying to steal him from her. David called the number Mason gave him, which rang my work phone. When I didn't answer, he called 911. Police arrived at the park within 8 minutes and arrested the woman on the spot. It turned out she was Janet Mills, a former daycare parent whose own son had been removed from her custody 2 years earlier in a messy divorce. She'd been watching the daycare, waiting for the right moment. She thought Mason was her son Kevin, who would be about the same age now. Janet had no intention of hurting Mason. In her twisted mind, she believed he was her child that had been stolen from her. But that didn't matter to me. My son had been kidnapped because of their negligence. The police officer explained that Janet had been living in her car for weeks, watching different daycares around town. She'd gathered information about several children, including Mason, probably from overhearing conversations during previous visits. I pressed charges immediately.